7th chapter of Fortnite kicks off in about 2 weeks now, and it already has insane potential. With all the leaks and teasers coming out, I thought it could be fun to list off some of the things that I hope for in this season. From collabs to new content to season themes, today I will explain all of my hopes for Fortnite Chapter 7. So of course guys, one of the most important aspects of a Fortnite season is its theme. You can compare it to like a base of a house. Without it, there's no solid direction. The season can really just go in any way, and of course, that makes a bad season. So Chapter 7 in Season 1 naturally needs a good theme. And what I think would be really good this season would be a spy theme season. Now, before you dox me in the comments, I do not mean Chapter 2 Season 2, I do not mean Chapter 4 Season 4, and I do not mean Chapter 6 Season 2. Think kind of James Bond-esque Chapter 5 Season 1. That's kind of what I'm going for, like an underground crime syndicate type stuff like that. I don't know. So to clear it up again, I do not want a heist theme season. I don't think that that's a good direction for a chapter, and I just don't like it overall. Also, I think we're done with heist themes. Of course, we kind of thought that Chapter 6 Season 2 would be more crime themed. It ended up still being pretty much mostly based around heists. So yeah, that was another reason why that was kind of a disappointment for me. But that's for a totally different video. So just to reiterate what I want a spy theme like James Bond-esque Chapter 5 Season 1. So think like underground versus society, but both factions are kind of as powerful as one another. And again guys, I don't want the same thing as Chapter 5 Season 1. I want it to be a little bit more different. I want the spies to be less like rebels. I kind of want them to be more professional, as I said, James Bond-esque. And from certain leaks that we've had, you can kind of infer that we will probably be getting some type of spy theme. Because like Casino, Hollywood, and Las Vegas, I don't know, it just seems like it's going to turn out to be a spy theme in some sort. Even if they don't do a spy theme, all of these leaks make it look like it's going to be a really cool season either way. And mark my words, they will definitely do something like it. Like maybe not exactly spy themed, but something like it. And I'd like to bring this up, like Chapter 5 Season 1, its storyline was definitely based around crime syndicates, the society versus the underground. I don't think that the actual season really executed that very well. In Chapter 7 Season 1, I'd like a more over-the-top, like actually spy theme. I don't really know how to fully orchestrate it, but as I keep bringing up, James Bond is the perfect model for what I want this season to be, making him the perfect collab for this season. Since it's so hard to orchestrate what I want, I'm just gonna play you guys a shot from the Chapter 5 trailer as well as a shot of a POI from Chapter 5. And hopefully that will help you guys kind of see where I'm going with this. It kind of displays just like the high stakes spy gunplay that I'm looking for. This also reminds me, we could get a train redesign and we could actually be able to go inside trains this season. That would be a very cool addition, especially to what I would hope to be a crime syndicate theme. Now, completely unrelated from the spy theme that I've been talking about, the terrain in the background here is absolutely gorgeous, and Chapter 5, they didn't really do this trailer that much justice, to be totally honest, so it would be nice if maybe they use this as kind of a concept for the snowy parts of Chapter 7. It would be very nice. Also, this snow weather in the background, too, that would absolutely be an amazing change. Like, literally, you can go back to Crime City, they added rain for that, I'm pretty sure. And it was just super nice. It actually went a long way. It made me want to land there a lot more. And they could really start adding that more with like rain and snow. It'd be really cool for Chapter 7. And honestly, the vibes, they would be high. I'm gonna be honest. Now moving on, let's take a look at Chapter 5 Season 1's POI, the Grand Glacier, which mostly just like represents what I would want the casino POI to look like. And most of like the major locations, I like them to be pretty fancy for the most part. But of course, there should be diversity and variety in the Fortnite map, so honestly, we should just get everything, but I would hope that there'd be some like luxury locations like the Grand Glacier. I'm honestly surprised that they didn't use that POI for something like a casino, because it just fits the vibe so much. There's like gold everywhere. Also, overall, this spy James Bond-esque Mission Impossible type stuff that I'm looking for the theme, it pretty much fits that perfectly. Like, this would be the main base of our opposition, of course, and they're gaining money from the casino that everyone around the island loves. I think it would be so cool if the casino POI did have like a lot of focus in the season. And actually, I hope that it does have storyline relevance. And honestly, that would just make the season all the more exciting to me, showing that everything is really connected to the storyline in Chapter 7, and they're going to focus on that. I think that that'd be a very important aspect of it as well. So, shifting topics, I need to talk about the storyline of Chapter 7 Season 1. Because by the time that I'm recording this, we have actually seen the teaser trailer now. I just want to say, throughout this video, you might have noticed, but this video is actually pretty outdated. It's like 3 or 4 days outdated, so I'm very sorry about that, but I was actually making some other videos at the same time. Just give me a little bit of grace on that.
Of course, we still have like a week until the season drops, so there's still some speculation. Could still actually be a spy theme. We're not 100% sure about the theming of the season. Of course, we know that it's Pacific. And I know that the season is called Pacific Break itself, but I really doubt that that's the actual underlying tone of the season. The only season that we can really see that in is probably Chapter 2, Season 1, which honestly just, its tone was a new chapter and pretty much a new game of Fortnite. And honestly, I don't blame that for not having a theme. It makes sense. So I just really find it unnatural that there's just going to be a Pacific themed map and that's going to be the theme of the season. I just don't see that actually being a thing. I see the map 100% being Pacific themed. That would be really cool, and I think that that's definitely the direction that they're going in. I don't know. I just still think that there's a possibility that my theory about the theme and what I want from the theme is what we will get. But of course, the 7 from Fortnite storyline is also going to be a big focus this season. That's definitely confirmed, and that's just definitely what we know. Like, it's 100%. And what I'm really wondering about now is how will Fortnite integrate them back into the storyline? Because honestly, for chapters and honestly years now, it's just been a mystery where they went. Of course, some of them were sucked up by the Chrome. I don't know. I don't think it was all of them. Because I remember Foundation jumped into the 0 point with Jones in Collision in Chapter 3, Season 2. And then we last saw the Paradigm in the Chapter 4 event. She, like, did the whole Zero Fusion thing and she created the new island. I don't know where she went after that, though. And then, of course, the Foundation was last seen in, like, Collision, I think it was, where he jumped into the 0 point with Jones. And that's the biggest mystery to me personally. Like, what happened to him after that? Like, the Paradigm, we can kind of speculate that she's probably fine. But with the Foundation, who knows what happens when you jump into the 0 point? And of course, I think it was they were going after Jenna, so maybe he got defeated by Jenna or something. I don't know. It'll be really interesting to see what direction they go in Chapter 7 with the Foundation and the Paradigm, as well as all of the other 7 members. Like, what happened to them after they got chromed? And again, as I said before, there are a few that did not get chromed and they're probably still alive somewhere. But as for the ones who kind of were sucked into the chrome, I'm guessing they got kind of possessed by the last reality, and how would they eventually get out and get to the Chapter 7 reality with us and help us out? That's what I'm wondering, and that's, I hope, what they kind of explore in the 0 hour event. I really hope that they go into what has happened the past few years with all of our favorite storyline characters, and of course how it's going to actually connect us to Chapter 7, because these last few chapters, they haven't felt super connected to the old storyline, which is something that I think that we really need. We need it to feel connected, and of course it definitely is connected in some ways, but just not to the point where it felt like the super ongoing storyline that we had through chapters 1 through 3. Of course, Chapter 4 at the beginning also had kind of that same storyline, but it kind of just discontinued the entire storyline. I think it was at its worst in Chapter 4, like midway through. It pretty much ended the storyline. There wasn't that much storyline anymore. Sure, there were some like quests and stuff like that, but it's nowhere near what we get now with mini events every single season. And even now, where we're getting fully story-based seasons in a fully story-based event. So overall, with the storyline, I just hope that 0 hour connects all of it, and I hope that Chapter 7 storyline gets a very nice kickstart with this event. And moving on now, I need to talk about the map, because I did not realize how far into the video we are now, but yeah, it's very important for a hopes video. So pretty much what I'm expecting is, of course, a wide variety. Pretty much just what we saw in Chapter 6 Season 1. There were so many different colors, it was super vibrant, and there were just like so many different options for places to land. All of the drop spots were good. I'm expecting a lot of chests. In the Simpsons season, one of my complaints was that there's not a ton of chests, especially in certain POIs like Springfield Town Square. So I'd definitely like them to kind of fix that up and make sure every single spot is actually worth going to. And since it's specific themed, of course, what we need is some Hollywood and Las Vegas POIs. So I think it'd be very cool to have like a luxury neighborhood, and as well as what we've been talking about pretty much the entire video, which is a casino POI representing Las Vegas. Of course, we could also have some hotels. And honestly, I mostly trust them with the map. I think that they're gonna do pretty good. We've seen a few leaks from the early access event, and it looks actually really nice. Looks like it is very diverse. There is a desert, of course, and overall it looks good, and I don't really have to ask for much here. Wrapping up today's video, I think that Chapter 7 has a ton of potential, and in this video, I've talked a lot about the theming. Honestly, if the season's good, I don't care too much. Of course, I would want a James Bond-esque, Mission Impossible, stuff like that in the future, but if it's not this season, that's totally fine. I will accept that, and again, if the season's good, didn't need that theme, I guess. I'll probably make another video over the next few days. I will not be home this weekend though, so I'm gonna have to use my phone mic, of course. There are a lot of Chapter 7 leaks coming out day by day, actually, so I will probably need to make another video on that. But anyways, guys, I hope you have a great day, and remember to always stay super.